Hello and welcome to our daily devotion where we share this one thing from our revised common lectionary for Monday, August the 3rd. My name is Pam Maston. I'm one of the associate pastors here at First Presbyterian Church of Fort Lauderdale. And thank you so much for joining me today. If you were able to live stream yesterday for worship, you know that here at First Presbyterian Church, we have some very talented young people who led us in worship for Youth Sunday, which was yesterday. And if you haven't had the chance, it's not too late. You can still listen to our worship service through our website anytime. When I read our common lectionary passages for today, Psalm 9 highlights the importance of worshiping the Lord. The psalmist in our evening psalm for today reminds us how to worship God. And I think this is important to think about during these difficult times. For many of us, worship before the pandemic looked like getting up on Sunday morning, going to church. We sing, we pray, we worship in a congregation, in person. But now things have changed. Yes, we worship online. We light our candles to remind us that we were all united by the Spirit of God. And we have adjusted to worshiping the Lord in a different way, much like our young people have led us so beautifully in worship yesterday. In Psalm 9, the psalmist reminds us of the importance to worship the Lord and how. This one thing for today is the psalmist's assertion to worship the Lord. It's right there in verse 1 and 2. I will give thanks to the Lord with all my heart. I will tell of all your wonders. I will be glad and exult in you. I will sing praises to your name, O Most High. And the psalmist gives us clues as to how. In these two verses, the psalmist gives us 4 important ways to worship the Lord, and it doesn't even need to be in person. Verse 1, I will give thanks to the Lord. Thanking God is a means of worship. It's commanded throughout the scriptures. And one reason giving thanks is important is that it helps us to elevate God over our circumstances. Friends, what are you thankful for today? Take a moment and thank God for whatever it is. For that, my friends, is worship. What are you thankful for today? Start and end the day with it. Start and end with gratitude, thanking God. The psalmist also reminds us to share it. What are you thankful for? Give thanks to the Lord, and then share it with others. In verse 1, another important act of worship you can do is to tell of all his wonders. In other words, share something you are grateful for with someone else. In verse 2, one of the best ways to worship God is to sing. I will sing praise to your name. I know I have very much missed singing with others in church, though I may or may not have sung in my living room watching a service online. The psalmist views singing as a prayer because it's worship. It's not just a sing-along. We are singing to God. God is our audience of one. Friends, singing to the Lord is worship wherever you are. And finally, in verse 2, another way to worship the Lord is to be happy in God. The psalmist puts it this way, I will be glad and exult in you. This way of worshiping God is a little bit different. It's not something we do, it's who we are. Be happy in God, not in our circumstances. The psalmist writes in Psalm 4, you have put gladness in my heart, more than when their grain and new wine abound. There, David is talking about the fact that people's gladness depends on their circumstances. When things are going well in my life, I'm happy. But the problem is with that kind of happiness is that you're only happy as long as things are going your way. But the psalmist is saying that his happiness, his joy, is not only based on circumstances. It's based on relationship with God. In verse 2, in our evening psalm for today, David says, I will be glad and exult in you. His happiness is found in God himself. And that, my friends, is worship. It's not just doing something. It's rejoicing in God. This week, let's worship God. The psalmist has reminded us of this one thing for today, and that is the importance of worshiping the Lord. And we can worship God even when we're not congregating in our sanctuary or the fellowship hall or in the chapel in the sky, though I do miss you all very much. Friends, we are all called to worship God, our Creator, our Redeemer, and our Sustainer. Be thankful, share it with others, sing praises to God, and be happy in the Lord, as our young people so beautifully shared on Youth Sunday. Friends, thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful week. Stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow.